She spent years working there, and now a Lexington restaurant is trying to help a woman badly injured in a crash that killed her fiance and children.
She spent 5 days in jail and is now taking some time off of work. But will Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis be paid for that time away from the office?
Richmond police are investigating a counterfeit money operation that hit 7 stores here in Richmond and 1 in Lexington.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 11.
Good evening. Her life changed in an instant. A Central Kentucky woman left with serious injuries in a crash that also killed her fiance and her 2 young children.
Rachel Osland has been at UK Hospital since the crash Sunday afternoon in Greenup County. She worked at Tally Ho Restaurant in Lexington, and now her former co-workers are asking the community to help them raise money for her. Monique Blair has our top story at 11.
She was the sweetest, caring person, and she loved her kids. They were her life. Michael and Lauren were so sweet. They happy, never saw them sad. Rusty was the most caring person. He'd give you the shirt off his back.
Rachel Osland was the sole survivor of the car crash that killed her 10-year-old son Michael, her 5-year-old daughter Lauren, and her fiance, 28-year-old Rusty Johnson. Now Rachel's former co-workers are stepping in to help her with her road to recovery.
This is probably the most horrific thing that could happen to anybody. If you could just put your heart and think of what she feels like right now, and that she's going to need so much support.
Tally Ho's general manager Jennifer Doney says 100% of the proceeds from this ongoing fundraiser will go directly to Rachel.
Now, although Rusty didn't work here at Tally Ho, I'm told several people here knew him, and it was here at Tally Ho that he and Rachel shared a very special moment in their relationship.
He actually proposed to her here. They surprised Rachel, told her she had to come in for something else, and he proposed to her right over there on his knee in front of everyone.
Doney says the money raised will help Rachel pay for funeral costs and also go towards her medical bills. She is still recovering from the crash at UK Hospital.
She was family. They were all family.
In Lexington, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Osland worked at Tally Ho for 10 years before leaving just a few months ago. If you would like to help that fundraiser, we have information at WKYT.com.
Slow-moving showers and storms causing some problems around parts of the Bluegrass tonight. In Madison County, KU says lightning struck a substation on Concord Road. That caused more than 3,000 customers on the east side of Richmond to lose power, but it was restored about an hour later. Heavy rain falling across much of Kentucky tonight. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey's tracking even more rain on the way. Right, Chris?
Yeah, we've got another little cluster of showers and thunderstorms into parts of western Kentucky that'll roll across the region as we get a little deeper into the overnight. Your Live First Alert Defender tracking the rains that we had earlier now into parts of West Virginia. Look out to our west, though. Starting to get some rains as close by as sections of Shelby County. Folks around Lawrenceburg, not too far away. And then down the Bluegrass Parkway toward the I-65 corridor, a little bit of lightning, a little thunder around the Litchfield area and E-Town. And that extends toward Bowling Green, and everything that is down there working its way on toward the northeast. Hit the fast forward button on your radar hour by hour and look at the future radar through tonight and tomorrow morning, with the greatest concentration of rains tomorrow around the middle of the morning, still across parts of southeastern Kentucky. So still a few storms around, more in the way of some much needed rain. Some of us picking up better than 2 inches of rain a little earlier today. And oh yeah, the big chill arrives as we go toward the weekend. Coming up in just a few minutes, guys, we'll show you a brand new hour-by-hour forecast that includes the start of that chilly weekend.
Chris, thank you. New tonight, we have learned that Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis will still receive a paycheck for the time she spent in jail and for the time she's taking off this week. In Kentucky, elected officials get paid even if they're not working. Davis receives $80,000 per year. The state auditor's office says elected officials do not accumulate vacation, sick, or comp time, so paid time off is left to the official's discretion. Davis was released from jail yesterday after a federal judge lifted a contempt of court order against her. She's refused to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples. Her attorneys say she's taking the rest of the week off to rest, and she'll be back at the Rowan County Clerk's office on Monday. They also say she's going through hundreds of letters her supporters sent to her. Some of Davis's supporters showed up at the courthouse today, but other people there said that they're tired of the issue.
The gays and lesbians, why shouldn't they be allowed the same misery that I have in my marriage that they should be allowed to get?
Rowan County Deputy Clerk Brian Mason said today that he would continue issuing marriage licenses after Davis comes back to work, even if she told him not to. Judge David Bunning has ordered Davis not to interfere with the issuing of the marriage licenses. Tonight, Richmond police have an alert for businesses. They say that some people are stealing money and merchandise by passing fake $100 bills.
Police say in a little more than an hour on Saturday, the suspects used the counterfeit money at 7 stores in Richmond Centre, and they got away with hundreds of dollars. Garrett Weimer is tracking the investigation, new at 11.
Police say 7 stores here in the Richmond Centre Plaza were ripped off when suspects used a handful of counterfeit $100 bills, all in the span of an hour and a half. It must have been quite a counterfeit shopping spree. According to Richmond police, the suspects passed those bills here on Saturday. Between 4 o'clock and 5:30, police say the suspects hit 7 stores in the plaza: the Children's Place, Rue 21, Dress Barn, Hibbett Sports, Rack Room Shoes, PetSmart, and Dick's Sporting Goods. According to police, each of the 7 bills was $100, and they all had the same serial number. Police say the suspects had the same MO at all the stores they hit. They'd buy only about $10 to $20 worth of merchandise, but pay for it with the fake bills so they could get the rest in change. After the suspects left the Richmond Centre, police say they believe they also used the counterfeit money in Lexington at the Rack Room Shoes in Hamburg Pavilion. In Richmond, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Police have not identified how many different suspects they believe to be involved. However, descriptions from store employees seem to indicate a man and a woman. Tonight, Richmond police are looking for 2 men they say attacked a woman. It happened just after noon on North Madison Avenue in downtown Richmond. Witnesses told police they saw the woman bleeding on a sidewalk. They say the woman claimed 2 men tried to grab her and drag her into a car before cutting her neck and arms. Richmond police say the woman went to UK hospital with serious injuries. They do not have descriptions of the suspects. In Wolfe County, police arrested a man they say shot a woman at her home. Police say they were called to the home on Sandy Ridge Road this morning. They say Teddy Creech showed up, shot Blanche Creech several times, and then left on a tractor. Police say Blanche Creech drove to a nearby home for help. They later arrested Teddy and charged him with assault. Neighbors say the two had been a couple but recently broke up. At last check, Blanche was in critical condition at UK hospital.
New tonight, investigators say an infant found unresponsive in a Barron County home has died, and police have now charged a man with murder in the case. They say the 7-week-old child was in Chad Lewis's care at the time. Police found her unresponsive over the weekend inside a home they say that had black mold and an extensive marijuana growing operation. Police say autopsy results show the baby died of a closed head injury. They have not said how she's related to Lewis. A mother and daughter now charged with animal cruelty in Florida once faced similar charges here in Lexington. Back in 2005, a jury convicted Kathleen Nygaard after investigators said she let some horses die while in her care. But her mother, Nancy Freeman, was found not guilty. Investigators say the women left Kentucky after Woodford County Animal Control opened an animal cruelty investigation against them in 2010. Now police in Citrus County, Florida say the women abandoned animals in their home there. Police say that some of the animals had died. Others, including dogs, cats, rabbits, and horses, were starving, but they were rescued.
Could a second cable television provider be coming to Lexington? The city is in the middle of a 10-year franchise agreement with Time Warner Cable. But according to our news partners at the Herald Leader, Lexington city leaders say Windstream Communications made a request for the city to reopen the franchise process. The Urban County Council will soon vote on a request for bids for a franchise agreement. City leaders say to be approved as a second provider, Windstream would have to offer the same services Time Warner does, and Time Warner would still keep its franchise agreement.
Tonight, investigators have released some new details about the death of a Greenup County woman.
The Greenup County Sheriff says deputies found 19-year-old Maddie Conley's body in the middle of a road early yesterday morning. Investigators now think she was riding on the back of an ATV with 19-year-old James Ratliff. They say Ratliff's 17-year-old girlfriend saw it, became upset, and started chasing the ATV. Police say Conley then jumped off the ATV in fear, but they say what happened after that is still under investigation. Police charged Ratliff with manslaughter and evidence tampering. They've also charged his girlfriend. One of Conley's friends says she knew Conley was special from the first time she met her.
I was like, who is this girl? You know what I mean? Everybody knows her. It's just when she just walked in a room, you literally could see people light up.
Friends say Conley leaves behind a 19-month-old daughter. They say she was working 2 jobs and studying to be a nurse.
New tonight, the Securities and Exchange Commission has filed civil fraud charges against former Kentucky Lieutenant Governor Steve Pence. Federal regulators claim Pence misled auditors about missing funds while chairman of an employment staffing company. They also say that he was the front man for a convicted felon in a scheme to divert more than $2 million from the company. Pence's attorney denied the allegations. Pence was lieutenant governor from 2003 until 2007.
Tonight, there are fears in the Phoenix, Arizona area that a possible serial shooter could be on the loose. Police say in the last 2 weeks, shots have been fired at 9 vehicles on highways around Phoenix. Authorities call them, quote, domestic terrorism crimes. They say in one of the shootings, a 13-year-old girl was hurt by glass from a shattered window, but no other injuries have been reported. Police have not made any arrests.
New tonight, New York City health leaders will soon be adding a new item to restaurant menus. Salt warning labels. They say the new measure approved today applies to a third of the city's restaurants. The required symbols would point out dishes with more than the daily recommended 2,300 milligrams of salt, which is about a teaspoon.
Many times the one meal will supersede the daily limit of how much sodium or salt we should have in our diet.
In a statement, the New York Restaurant Association called the new requirement disappointing because more comprehensive federal regulations will take effect next year. The menu changes take effect in December.
It is a sign that the Breeders' Cup is just around the corner. Today, crews installed a new Breeders' Cup countdown clock on the pedway between Rupp Arena and the Square in downtown Lexington. Keeneland is hosting the Breeders' Cup on October 30th and 31st. The clock itself was flown in from Switzerland, but the sign around it was made by the Ruggles Sign Company in Versailles.
A piece of history resurfaced today in Pulaski County. Somerset Community College opened a time capsule that had been hidden behind a wall on campus since 1965. Students back then filled the capsule with newspapers, graduation programs, and a Bible. One of the women who helped with the time capsule in '65 was on hand today.
Just so we would have memories, you know, later on. Little did we know we'd be around 50 years to open it and, you know, see what was going on.
The class of 2015 decided to carry on the time capsule tradition by adding new mementos to it. And once placed back behind the wall, the time capsule will not be reopened until 2065. What a great idea.
I love those stories. You never know what you'll find in them for sure. Yeah.